Also an incredible guy. He's produced films, augmented reality apps, as well as educational programs, and he's actually been credited in broadcast films. He's an award-nominated content creator responsible for building 2 media-focused businesses, which have brilliant names. The Chaos Factory, that's what my house should be called, I think, and Activate Entertainment. He's a published columnist, augmented reality app developer, public presenter, and disruptive player in the fields of media, tech, and education. Ty, you out there?
Oh, yes.
He's talking to Taj.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome, Ty.
Good afternoon, everyone. I read something recently, which is this, funnily enough, that the future is not some place that we go, but rather one that we create. And it made me stop, and it really stuck on my brain. Because I've kind of always been obsessed with, I guess, creating what comes next. And I've always wanted to be a part of the future. And I guess my goal with the next 8 to 10 minutes that I have you with me is to kind of get you thinking in a very similar manner. So as Chris said, my name is Ty Curtis, and I am the founder and director of Activate Entertainment. And we produce film, animation, and augmented reality. So today, what I thought I might do is kind of go over my journey with AR, because it's by far the most appropriate for the setting that we're currently in. I just want to check the clicker. Oh, cool. Oh, wait, I've lost it. Uh-oh. Yeah? Awesome, sorted. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar with augmented reality, and if you didn't try the experience that we set out for you guys this morning, basically it's very simple. It's basically a layer of technology or a digital layer that we put over our existing reality. The way that it's currently set up is that we use a trackpad, which at the moment, as you can see in that picture, is a piece of art. And then we use a specifically designed app to be able to layer content over the top of it. So in 2013, when I was doing a terribly boring consultancy job, I discovered the magic of augmented reality. Now, I use the word magic not because it is a trick, but because of the sense of wonder it allows you to feel. And at that point in time, I kind of felt like I'd found my magic. I found something that I really wanted to invest a lot of time and effort into. So I dropped everything and I began developing augmented reality experiences. And then there's 2 that I'd kind of like to talk to you about today. So the first one is called the Monster Zoo. And so I've worked in the education space for a lot, and I like the idea of being able to create magic, particularly for kids. I kind of thrive off that, oh wow moment when they see something and their little brains explode and something that they didn't expect was going to happen happens. And for me, AR does that. And I kind of experienced that this morning. I saw some kids trying the AR experience for the first time. And there's that oh wow moment that I kind of live for, and now I think I'm slightly addicted to it. So the Monster Zoo is basically a venue-based location where we turn a venue into an invisible zoo, and the participants have to go around the zoo looking for invisible monsters. And all of our monsters are endangered, so they're based off there's 5 creatures, and they're all based off creatures found on the endangered species list. So not only do they get to have this crazy fun digital scavenger hunt experience, we also get to have the conversation with them about endangered species. On top of that, there's also a filmmaking component as well. So they're not only finding these animals, they also have to make a documentary about their experience, which we screen at the end of it. So it goes for about an hour and a half, and it's literally an hour and a half full of chaos, but the kids get to do a whole heap of different things and experience different things along the way. So the Monster Zoo has been very successful. We've rolled it out across film festivals all around Australia and children's festivals, and it's been extremely well received. So the next one that we created is called The Thing in the Wall, and that's specifically designed for the education sector. The Monster Zoo was a course where you move from A to B, and basically there's a creature on the loose. You have to figure out how to get him back in the enclosure. The Thing in the Wall is a little bit more complicated. So through the development process, we worked with Education Queensland and asked them, what is something that you would like in your schools? And the feedback that we got is looking for different ways to be able to teach kids how to be healthy. And that's exactly what the Thing in the Wall is all about. It's about being a healthy kid on both the inside and out. So the idea of it is that the creature who's in the middle, he's stuck in a wall, and the kids have to figure out how to get him out of the wall. And the way that they do that is by talking to all the other creatures that are scattered around the school. But they're not going to give up the information that easily. When the kids approach the creature says, yes, I'll give you the information, but you need to bring me something that I want. So they have to bargain with them. Underneath the thing in the wall, he's stuck in the library, there's a box of lost property. And in that box, there's a variety of different objects with barcodes on them. And the kids have to bring them something, and they have a choice to make, either a correct choice or an incorrect choice. And if they bring them the correct choice, then they'll move up in the game state. So essentially what we're doing is placing them in the middle of a video game. For example, the fish on the far right, he's the lunchbox thing, so he steals kids' lunchboxes. And he'll only release some information if he brings them a healthy lunchbox. So they collect the healthy lunchbox, they scan it into the app, and then they get bumped up in the game state. The way they eventually get the thing out of the wall is you can see that he's got his fists clenched. And what he's stolen is somebody's bad thoughts. So once they tell him to let go, he opens his fists, the bad thoughts fall out, and he disappears back to his world. So then we get to have this cool conversation with kids about like only holding on to good thoughts and letting go of bad thoughts. Again, been really well received by the education system and has rolled out on several schools throughout Queensland. So what next for this crazy augmented reality adventure? One of the things with running a business, you never really know where you end up. We're now developing a project with Griffith University, which is about building empathy in kids, so creating an augmented robot and then being able to train it and use the concept of empathy as a base. And we're also working with the health sciences at QUT to create augmented medical information for diabetes sufferers. So they scan their medication and digital content comes up over the top of it and allows them to be able to engage with and understand how their medication actually works. So the applications for AR is pretty much endless. I kind of liken it to my career in film. You can make a film about anything and you can essentially do the exact same thing with augmented reality. Where we're at the moment, I consider it to be a relatively primitive point with AR. This whole relationship between a trackpad and a device, I can guarantee that in 10 years' time we'll look back at that and think, what were we thinking? We'll get to the point where we'll have something mounted on our head that will just have content everywhere. I'm a firm believer that we are on the cusp of a technological revolution where a new world is about to be born. It'll look very similar to the world that we've come to know and love, just augmented, exactly the same, but with digital content over the top of it. And we have a choice to make. We can either be a passive receiver of that content, or we could be active creators. So I would suggest, if this is something that you guys are interested in, then I would suggest start playing with this world, because there's so many things out there that are creating these new careers that people didn't even really know existed. I honestly didn't think that I would be standing in a position like this 5 years ago saying that I'm an augmented reality app developer. But you just never know where life's going to take you. So what's the point of this talk? Well, I found my magic 3 years ago, and I love it. It's the thing that I get out of bed for. It's weird. Not a lot of people understand it. Well, they do now because Pokemon Go is a thing. That kind of helped me a lot. But it's something that it just clicked with me. And it's because of advancing technology that I was able to create this whole new world for myself. So what I would suggest is just play with things, test out virtual reality experiences, play with making films in 360, get your hands dirty with robotics. Technology is one of the most exciting things that's happening at the moment, and you just never know where your brain is going to lead you. So I was going to leave it there, but then I opened up my computer just before I came to give this presentation, and my 10-year-old godson put this thing on my computer. So whenever I open Chrome, I get this really beautiful picture with this cool quote, and it was so cool, the quote, that I wrote it down, and I wanted to share it with everybody because it was very poignant. So what the quote says is, "Without new experiences, something inside us sleeps. The sleeper must awaken." I thought it was pretty cool. Thank you very much.
Hang on. We're not done with Ty yet.
That's right.